Unfortunately, my kids look very much like me, so nobody would believe if I said that. In any case, in the kitchen now with Chef Chun Felix from Opus 9 Steakhouse in Williamsburg. Today, we're cooking up New York strip au poivre. Am I saying that correctly?
Yes, you are.
Au poivre. What exactly does that mean?
It means it's French for pepper crusted. Okay. So we're going to take our New York strip prime steaks and season them up with some salt and some ground pepper.
Right.
But first, we're going to get our pan hot.
Yeah, that's definitely important. Let's talk about the meat that you have brought on. And I mean,
this is the steaks that we use at the Opus 9 Steakhouse. Mm-hmm. We like to use a nice thick cut. That way, we get our perfect temperature that we want. Mm-hmm. You go anywhere from rare to well done, but you can control it better the thicker the steak is. And of course, we want to use prime steaks. So it just means the marbling in it's more spread out, and you don't have the big chunks of fat in it, or it's not too lean where you don't have any flavor.
Right, it's kind of just right, of course.
Yeah, exactly.
When people are making the decision to make this dish, what kinds of tips do you have for them to picking the right cut of meat, as far as going to the store or wherever? If they're even going to a restaurant, what should they ask for?
They should ask for a steak. You want like an inch thickness at least. Mm-hmm. You want to look for the marbling. That's of course all this nice, lovely, just little flecks of fat in there. Mm-hmm. And that's usually will give you a nice tender steak and lots of flavor.
Right.
So that's what we're looking for.
So we've got a hot pan going. You can feel it. So I'm going to step aside a little bit.
And we're just going to take a little bit of oil and just get it in our pan here.
What kind of oil do you use for this one?
Preferably canola oil. You can use any oil, but canola oil gives you a higher smoking point, so it doesn't burn as quick.
So will this start in the pan and go in the oven eventually?
If you want it medium rare to medium rare, you can just do it straight on top of the stove. If you prefer your steaks a little more well done, then probably put it in the oven for about 5-10 minutes, about 350 degrees.
Okay, so pepper is the main ingredient.
Pepper is the main ingredient
with this dish.
Yeah, and if I can just have you do me a favor.
Yeah, absolutely.
And just grind these peppercorns up for me.
Well, let's talk about the peppercorns, because I mean,
it's a melange of
most
pepper.
folks,
it's white pepper, black pepper, green peppercorns,
Antonio.
and pink peppercorns.
Pink peppercorns.
Pink peppercorns, which actually isn't really a true peppercorn. Like the green, the black, and the white, it's a little bit sweeter in flavor, not quite as peppery.
Right, so it won't be like that traditional black pepper taste.
Yes,
it'll be a little bit of
you won't get that bite.
Very nice. So these are all obviously whole.
Those are whole, so we're going to grind them up.
And you have a nice little machine here.
Yep, it's just a coffee grinder.
Oh, okay. Dump it all in?
Dump it all in.
Okay.
Yeah, it's going to make a loud noise.
And just press it down?
Just press it down.
Oh, right there. All right, we'll get it. And you can absolutely, smell the aroma of it all.
And that looks about just right.
Ah,
there you go. You just dump it right in there.
There you go. And here you have it. Yeah. I'm going to start sneezing in a minute, so I'm going to back away.
And we're just going to season our steaks up with some kosher salt. Okay. Kosher salt or sea salt is preferable.
Right.
If you use iodized salt, it tends to be a little saltier.
Okay.
So then we just do enough just to season up the steaks and get the flavors to come out of it. It'll draw a lot of the flavor out.
Now, what do you tell people who say, I love steaks, but the pepper I'm not so much a fan of?
You could do this without the pepper. You could do less pepper if you don't like yours quite as spicy. Mm-hmm. But it definitely tastes a lot better with the pepper. So
I think what I'm trying to get at is maybe people will be surprised that it's not pepper. It's more a flavoring that enhances the meat.
Yes, exactly. And it's like you can use a lot less pepper. I like mine with a lot of it on there, but but we could do less. We're waiting for our pan to get hot and the oil just to start smoking.
And that's probably right around there.
And there you go.
And that's the sound you want to hear, huh?
And that's the sound you want to hear. If you put it in too early, then it'll just kind of sweat in the pan, and you'll get all your juices run out of the steak.
How long would you say you leave it on one side then?
About 4 to 5 minutes. Okay. Get a nice brown, and we'll just turn it down to about medium heat.
We will let you work on that, and I'm sure you'll be flipping it. We'll talk about a special sauce that you're going to make for our steak meal.
We'll get all that ready
in the next segment.
All right.
Chef, thanks very much.
Thank you.
Great. I'm a Hampton Roadshow kitchen back with Chef Chun Felix from Opus 9 Steakhouse in Williamsburg, making our New York strip au poivre. Flipped it over once.
Well, you flipped it over once, so we got a nice little sear and the crust on here, which is what we're looking for.
It looks really good.
And we're getting ready to pull them out of the pan.
What kind of doneness? What level is that?
Right now, this is about medium rare. I can tell just by touching it. Most people probably couldn't do that, but after you've grilled a certain amount of steaks, so you get a feel for that. But a meat thermometer would be a appropriate thing. We just stick a little bit in there, let it sit for about 20 seconds, and 125 for medium rare, 135 for medium.
Okay.
And if you want it well done, it'll be about 160 degrees.
Thing is, most people usually don't use meat thermometers. They usually just get that knife and cut it open, but then the juice
What happens
all
as soon as you do that, then all the juice runs out, and that'll be on the bottom of your plate and not in the steak. Is where you want it.
So you don't recommend that?
I don't recommend that at all.
That's what people
But
I know do.
If they want to do that, that's fine, but you will get a less juicy steak.
That's right. So remember that as you check your steaks for doneness, use a meat thermometer versus the whole
Cutting it wide
knife
open.
and fork.
So that's the same idea. What we're going to do now is that we're going to pull the steaks out and let them rest, so all the juice in the steaks can get back in. What happens? Heat pushes all the juices to the center of the steak. If you let it sit for a few minutes, it relaxes, and then lets the juice all disperse back through the meat.
Right. So don't push yourself in the kitchen as far as time that you have to serve right away.
Yes.
How much time you said? 15?
To let
To
the
let it
meat
set,
rest.
yeah.
Ideally, these small steaks will probably do about 5-6 minutes.
Oh, okay.
A big roast, if you're doing something like a prime rib or a roasted rack of lamb or something like that, you let it rest a little more. And then we're going to pour off our oil, and we're just going to discard that.
Okay.
Because we don't want any greasy sauce or anything like that.
Right, but we're going to use this pan again?
We're going to use this pan because it's got all the caramelization from the steak in there.
Yeah.
And that's good. And right now we're going to turn our heat back up and really start cooking with some fire. We're going to have a little bit of brandy right here, about a quarter of a cup.
Back up here.
Watch the hair.
Yeah.
And we're just going to let that and just flame up. There it goes.
Very, very nice. Okay, so we got a little bit of flamage here in the kitchen. We're running out of time, but let us know what you're going to do once this comes down.
As soon as the flames come down, we're just going to add some demi-glace, a little bit of green peppercorns, and just finish with a touch of cream.
We got a little extra time, so let's see. When can you put that in there?
You can put it in just about right now. The flames are getting ready to die off.
And what's in that?
It's just a demi-glace. We just take veal bones, and we stew them down with carrots, celery, onions, and water. Let it cook for a long time, and you just get this really nice, lovely sauce after we reduce it down.
Wow. That looks really good.
It's almost like a thickened au jus.
Right.
And we do that, and then just finish it with a bit of cream.
You can definitely smell the brandy for sure, but that'll cook off.
That will cook
So
off.
it will
Yeah,
not
you
be
will not have that alcohol
an
taste, but
alcoholic
you'll be
kind
left
of
with
dish.
a lovely brandy flavor.
So just a little bit of the cream mixing in with the demi-glace.
And then we're going to add just a little bit of green peppercorns we got right here.
Kind of add that pepper flavor throughout.
Yes.
Huh?
I said this is a very peppery dish, and we like that. But again, you can leave the green peppercorns out, and it wouldn't change the dish too much if you're not.
But this sauce itself, I mean, even if you have it without the actual peppers, it can still be something that stands alone.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so this will be, how long will you keep that?
We'll just cook it for about 5 minutes or so, just till we bring it up to a simmer, just let it reduce down.
We are going to wrap this up and talk about Opus 9. We're going to do that in our next cooking segment. And it's done. Our steak au poivre with Chef Chun Felix from Opus 9 Steakhouse in Williamsburg. This cooked down nicely.
Yes, we got it simmered and we let it reduce for a few minutes, and we got the consistency we want. So we just did a little taste, and it tasted great. So all we got to do now pretty much is just plate up the steaks.
Right. I asked you earlier if this would go on top of the steak, and you said no.
No, we're going to put the sauce on the bottom of the plate, and then we're going to put the steaks on top of it and just do a little bit of garnish. But if you like your sauce on top of the steak, you're more than welcome to.
You
have
want.
the freedom at home to do what you like.
True, though, but this is the way you would do it.
This is the way I would do it.
And
this is the way we do it at the restaurant. Yep.
Now, for the restaurant, if you were to serve this, I mean, that is one portion, that huge steak for one person.
That is one portion. But we also do this dish at lunchtime with half the portion size. Exact same thing, though, it's just half the steak. So.
Right. Talk about Opus 9, and we were talking earlier about the location, and I hear it's a great date destination.
It is a great date destination. You can't beat taking someone out and having steaks and lobster and seafood. But we also do lunches, very popular lunches. We have 10 of them for under $10.
Oh.
And then, so we do have great values and stuff. And it's not just steaks. You know, we don't want to fall into that all we do is steaks, and that's the only reason you come there. But we do lots of fresh seafood. And that's enough sauce right there.
Okay, very nice.
And like I said, lunch is very popular.
Well, it's good that you said that, because, I mean, being that it is a steakhouse, people might think that's all that you have.
No,
of course
not.
There's no way.
We have a little bit of something for everyone. So, and then we just finish with a little chives and some diced up red pepper.
Oh,
just
very
for some
tiny.
color.
Okay.
So,
Well, that's very, very nice. And that's it.
And that's it. That's our dish right there.
Where can folks find you in Williamsburg?
We're located at 5143 Main Street in the Newtown section of Williamsburg.
So away from Colonial part, but near the college?
It is close to the college. It's on Monticello and Ironbound.
All right, very, very good. And of course, this dish that the chef has made, we're going to get the ingredients and the how-tos, put that online at thehamptonroadshow.com. But if you do want to see the chef yourself, just stop by his restaurant, Opus 9, in Williamsburg. Thanks so much for making this.
You're welcome. You can always see us at opus9steakhouse.com too.
Good. We're going to link that to thehamptonroadshow.com.